Hey y'all, I'm back. Okay, this time I am going to do what I am calling now blog tidbits. This will be my second one because throughout the week, just like everybody else, I read and come across so many news stories. Believe me, I see them all just about, but all of them do not intrigue me enough to want to talk about them. And plus, I do a radio show on Wednesday night called Fair Play. It's on the TLBN network, which is an internet radio station. You can pull it up on TuneIn, on XIAA Live. Web-based radio station that's heard all over the world called Fair Play. And yours truly, is the host. But anyway, I'll tell you about that later. But right now on blog tidbits, these are some news stories and things that I don't really get to on the radio show because of time limitations. But yeah, let's just get started on the stuff that I see that really just makes me cringe or just makes me, The first one is another story about a fire crotch teacher, honey. I actually saw this as I walked over to Twitter. This one here came across my visage. Let me just read the article to you. It says, a hot teacher was busted for allegedly having sex with 3 high schoolers. Erin McAuliffe, a 25-year-old math teacher, has been arrested for carrying on sexual relationships with 3 male high school students. The charter school teacher at Rocky Mount Preparatory School in North Carolina was taken into custody on Thursday and faces 3 counts of sexual activity with a student and 1 count of indecent liberties with a minor. 2 of the boys she allegedly had sex with are 17. The other is 16. Y'all, I don't know what's wrong with these teachers. Just nasty. Admin staff at McAuliffe's school reportedly tipped cops off, and a month-long investigation was launched. All of her sexual activity with the students is believed to have taken place away from the school, thank God. Along with being arrested and charged, McAuliffe also got canned from her teaching job. Good. Y'all, I'm sitting here looking at this, and I'm looking at this 25-year-old teacher. And I'm looking at the comments on Twitter, and a lot of these people are like, especially the dudes, they're like, man, where was these teachers when I was in school? He said every teacher he had was like at least 90 years old. I mean, crazy stuff. And they're actually basically giving, what do you call it, over the internet? When somebody, anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. When people are on the internet and they're electronically, they're giving daps to people on the internet, basically. They're giving these high fives to these boys, so to speak, for sleeping with these teachers. And it's just disgusting. First of all, I'm going to say this. I know and I understand the excitement that a young boy would get from being able to even sniff a young teacher. I get it, because that's how young boys are. But what in the world would a 25-year-old teacher want with a 16 or 17-year-old boy? Because that's all he is. Now, I know some of these 16 and 17-year-olds don't look like boys, and they probably got some anatomy that's growner than some grown men. I'm sure of that. But what would make a full-grown woman that teaches school, been to college and everything, what would make her attracted psychologically to a boy? I can't even, just a child. I don't understand that. I just don't get it. And it to me, it's gross. It's gross. And did she not think that they were going to tell on her? Did she not think it was going to get out? Because the young guys that I know, that I went to school with, or even now, I even tutor teenagers from time to time. They tell everything because it's like notches in their belts when they can go and brag to their friends. Man, I had the teacher. I touched the teacher. She let me do this too, and I did that. That's bragging rights to them. And she's stupid. She actually sacrificed her job. She's been to school for 4 years to perfect a profession, and then she lets her crotch, her fiery crotch, get her fired from her good job. She's got free health care. She's got retirement. And now she's got to leave the state to go find a job, because now she's going to more than likely be registered as a sex offender depending on the age limit in the state that she's in. This is ridiculous. Where did I say she was? North Carolina. Oh yeah. 16 is underage. I'm pretty sure in North Carolina. What was she thinking? Did she really think that she wasn't going to get caught. You know, my mom always say, when I ask her, I'm like, Mama, what make these people do things when I was younger? My mom's main comeback would be like, baby, the devil don't give you no sense, honey. And she is so right. Because I cannot, you know, I think about that Mary Kay Letourneau lady who's married that was sleeping with this 11, 12-year-old back in 1995, 96. You know, the one that's recently came back out in the news because he's separating for her. And I think he's going to actually divorce her. Something is wrong with her psychologically. She's mentally ill. Totally mentally ill. At least this teacher right here is talking to a 16-year-old, messing with a 16-year-old, which is still gross, but you get what I'm saying, right? These teachers have got to be mentally ill, freaky, just totally perverted to fool with a student who is on a different level. I cannot imagine having sex with somebody that I have a vertical relationship with. All children are off limits to me. Now, I'm going to be honest. I like a man that's a little bit younger than me. But because I'm almost 40 years old, he'd have to be at least full grown. He's got to be at least 30 for me to want to fool with him. You get what I'm saying? Because that is absolutely ridiculous. I need a man. I don't need a boy. And I just can't. I mean, psychologically, she has got to be retarded to even be turned on by somebody. I'm sorry, not retarded. People don't like that word. But something is wrong with her. She is not mentally stable to fool with a child that is 16 years old when she is full grown. Okay? Just ridiculous, disgusting. All I can say is, parents, you better keep your eye on your kids. Don't settle for anything. I mean, don't even tolerate this mess. Charges need to be filed. Even if a person, even if you don't see anything wrong with the age difference, the fact that she was the teacher and he was the student, she was in a position of authority, and you sent your child to school to learn because you were going to trust that the teacher was going to teach him. And if she did this, for that reason alone, she need to go to jail. Okay? Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Look, I'm finna move on because I don't even want to spend too much more time on this story right here. The next story I wanted to talk about, old crazy Nick Gorden. Y'all know Bobby Christina, God rest her soul. Her ex pretend husband. Now, y'all knew this boy had psychological problems back when they were dating, when we heard, you know, different things about what was going on between the two of them, especially when she was found in that bathtub. There were many speculations and stories circulating that he actually is responsible for it. They have not proven that. Of course, the investigation is still going on surrounding it. I mean, they literally still investigating it. And I personally believe he did have something to do with it. I don't believe that girl went in there and drowned on her own. I do believe that there was a physical altercation when they found her. Let me put my glasses on for this one because I don't want to miss any details in this story, y'all. Bobby Christina Brown's former boyfriend, Nick Gorden, was arrested. They keep giving me these ads. I'm on Twitter, y'all. All right. In Florida for domestic battery yet again. Bobby Christina Brown's former boyfriend, Nick Gorden, has been arrested for domestic battery and false imprisonment. Seminole County Sheriff's Police has confirmed to People. TMZ first reported that Gorden was taken into custody in Sanford, Florida, after his current girlfriend filed a police report Saturday morning alleging that Gorden had beaten her on Friday night and held her in her home. The sheriff's office confirmed the charges to People and said that Gorden was still being held in jail as of Saturday afternoon. Today, of course. Gorden was previously found civilly liable for the death of his girlfriend, Bobby Christina Brown, Whitney Houston, and Bobby Brown's only child together. He was ordered to pay $36 million that they know this child ain't got. This child probably ain't got $36. Anyway, he was ordered to pay $36 million to the estate of his former girlfriend in November of 2016. On January 31st, 2015, Brown was found unconscious and unresponsive in the bathtub of the Georgia townhouse that she shared with Gorden. She was later moved to a medical rehab center in March of 2015 before she was transferred to an Atlanta area hospice facility where she died on July 26th of 2015. I can't believe it's been 2 years since that girl has died. Wow. So anyway, this is what happened. He's yet again has abused another girlfriend. He kidnapped this girl and beat her, from what I heard. I mean, he beat her badly. And so she pressed charges, and of course he is in jail. Now that right there should prove that this child prove what he was capable of when Bobby Christina was alive. You know, they had been saying anyway, there had been rumors, a word on the street was that he was beating on her anyway. And if I'm not mistaken, she had some bruises on her body when they found her in that tub. So yes, I believe he is responsible. They need to stop wasting taxpayers' dollars with this investigation and go on and book that boy for assault and whatever you want to call it, second-degree murder. They need to go ahead and book him, because I truly believe he's responsible, even if he didn't physically hold her head underwater. He's responsible for her death. So I think they need to go ahead on and stop wasting time, because it's obvious that that boy has some serious mental problems. This is sad. I hate it for him. He's such a young fella to be going through all this. And if he does not get any help, I mean, he needs Jesus, but if he don't get any help, he's going to get worse. And the girl that he's with, this new girl, a pretty girl, a very attractive young woman. I don't know. It's just sad. It's sad that he's being in the news for infamy, for doing terrible things like this. Just sad. Anyway, yep, that's the latest on Nick Gorden, if anybody cared. It's a shame. We don't hear from him for a year or two, and he pops up and he done beat somebody else. Anyway, moving right along, the next story that I wanted to mention, or the next thing I wanted to mention, not necessarily a story. Of course, we know the situation that happened with Bill Maher on Real Time on HBO, where he said he ain't no field nigga, he a house nigga. Basically, and people all over the world are mad hot with Bill Maher. But you know, when Bill Maher when I first heard this conversation between him and that Sass fella, Representative Sass, Senator Sass, whatever his name is, it didn't make me mad, but it shocked me. I mean, my bottom lip just dropped. I was like, I could not believe that Bill actually said that. But because I was kind of embarrassed when he said it. But then I got to thinking about it. I said, I know a lot of people going to be mad with him. But I had to think about it. You know, Bill Maher is the type of person that he's accustomed to being around a lot of black people, and a lot of black people that probably use that word around him. He dates black women. Probably the majority of the women he dates are black. I think I remember vaguely hearing him make the comment that he felt most comfortable around black people. So I think what happened in that moment, him being a comedian, he took for granted the feelings of the black community. He didn't think about it. He's so comfortable being around black people that he actually thought he could get away with saying that, what he said. So basically, he was irresponsible with his comedy. And I think what really makes it look bad is he said it in the company of a lot of white people, and they were laughing like it was fun. Like I said, it's just irresponsibility on Bill Maher's part. Now, I'm not giving him a pass or anything like that, because he should not have said that in that setting. If he's gonna talk like that, he need to be amongst friends, people he know really, really well, to be saying stuff like that. I mean, black people did not invent the word nigger. White people did. It's true that there was once a such thing as a house nigger and a field nigger, so it's not like he made up something when he said it. True enough, he said it about himself. He said, I'm a house nigger. He wasn't talking about anybody else, but it's just the fact that when it comes to comedy and slavery, black people don't take slavery funny. I mean, take slavery as a joke. It's not a funny or laughing matter, unless another black person is saying, you know, we could be a comedian and we could talk about slavery all day and make people laugh and caca and kiki and won't nobody care. But it's something about when a white person try to use it and joke about it. The fact that the average white person did not experience slavery they didn't experience slavery in this country. They talk about the Irish all the time, but I don't know much about that. But the fact that the vast majority of them did not experience slavery, their ancestors, especially in this country, were not slaves. It's like we don't feel like they have the right to even poke fun at the situation, because they don't have that history behind them. But anyway, overall, I was never mad with Bill for saying what he said. I do not personally think that Bill should lose his job for saying. I'm going to tell you the reason why. Because I honestly did not perceive or think that he was trying to offend anybody when he said. I think he was just very irresponsible, and he needs to learn to think before he speaks. Okay? He definitely needs to. It wasn't very wise to say what he said. So any backlash that he's getting, I guess you could say he deserves it. He deserves the backlash, and he should feel bad. And I'm gonna also say this. I can relate to him. I do believe he was sorry when he said it. He wasn't, of course, when he said it, like I said, I don't think he meant to hurt anybody, but I do believe when he apologized, he was sincere about it, because I've been in that situation before. I can remember about 8 years ago on my job, we had some inmates that came and worked with us, and they were with us for a long time. They had helped us relocate our office and set up and everything. And they worked with, when I say a long time, I'm talking about 3 weeks to a month. And I had become used to these people. I had gotten attached to them. They were really nice guys. They were in there for crimes that, not murder, but like assault charge, different things like that. You know, at first I was a little scared of them, but I became accustomed to them being there, and they turned out to be really good, decent guys, okay? And what happened was, one day, because I had become so used to them and we would joke around and kid and talk, they respected me, I respected them. I don't remember exactly what it was I said, but I remember somebody called me and I made a little joke, and it was a joke that referred to them, but I was merely joking. I didn't mean to hurt nobody's feeling. I just took for granted the relationship that we had, and I did not consider their feelings when I said I was irresponsible. And it hurt their feelings. He was like, man, you didn't have to say that. I'm like, what did I say? I didn't even realize what I said was ugly until he brought it to my attention. I was like, you know what? You're right. I was wrong for that. And I was so apologetic, and I never really did. They wound up leaving like the next day or two, but when they left there, they were still a little sad about, because they couldn't believe that I would say something like that. And like I said, it wasn't nothing ugly. It was just what I said was insensitive to their plight, to the situation they was in, being inmates. But I don't remember verbatim what it was. But I do know that I was miserable, and even to this day, I wish if I could run into those guys, I could reconcile that situation. They forgave me. They said, it's all right. We know you don't mean it, but I still made them feel bad. And I have made it my business ever since to be very careful about things that I say to people when they're in certain situations. You just have to be careful. So in Bill Maher's case, like I said, because I've been there, I'm going to, like I said, not give him a pass, because you know, the backlash that he got, he need to get, so maybe he'll remember in the future to be careful what he says. But I am going to, I'm going to kind of say, Bill, we forgive you this time. Be careful. Be careful, okay? So anyway, but no, I don't think he should lose his job. I know a lot of people think different. A lot of people might be mad with me for that, but I'm trying to be humane about it and be realistic about the situation. Not everything that somebody says is said with an insincere motive, or people not always trying to be wicked when they say things. Sometimes people say stuff out of ignorance or like I said, just irresponsibility and not having wisdom. Wisdom is a gift from above, okay? So anyway, that's where I was going to say Ice Cube actually went on the show. Michael Eric Dyson went on the show. Michael Eric Dyson went on before Ice Cube, and Michael Eric Dyson was kind of, he said so much stuff. You know, he's real bookish and wordy. And he explained to Bill Maher where that word comes from, how it affects the black community, but he kind of gave him a pass. Now, Ice Cube was nice at the end, but Ice Cube didn't give him a pass in the beginning. He told him, don't say that no more. You can't say that. You shouldn't say that. Ice Cube was very straightforward with him and let him know that is not a word that you should be saying. So, yeah, that was Ice Cube. Ice Cube was really forthcoming with the way he felt about Bill Maher saying what he said. But at the end of the day, he said, I get it, I understand. He also told Bill, he said, I knew you was going to F up one day. He said, I knew he was going to F up. But one thing that Ice Cube said that I really didn't agree with, he said that word nigger is, he said, we own it now. Black people own it now. We taking it back. I don't agree with that. Black people do not own that word. We can't take back something that never belonged to us in the first place. The word nigger was a word created by white people, and they said it to us in a derogatory way. So it doesn't belong to us. It's not our word. And to be honest with you, even though a lot of us say it, because I'm guilty too. I was raised up around people that talk like that. I live in the South, so nigger was very common in our vocabulary. But of course, it's true. Ice Cube was right when he said, when black people say it, we don't take it, derogatory way. But when white people say it, it's ugly and it's hateful and we get offended. Well, when something causes that much confusion, well, one person said and it hurts and somebody else said and it don't hurt, that means you probably shouldn't be saying it. Because that kind of inconsistency will always cause confusion, okay? And that's not what we want. So it's probably a word that we should never say because, once again, we didn't create the word. White people created the word, and it's always been a derogatory word towards black people. So why would we want to say it? We have to ask ourselves that question, you know? So, you know, y'all leave comments down there and let me know exactly what y'all think about that, because I just, you know, I don't know. That was one of them situations. I think sometimes we need to pick our battles. And I don't think we need to be fighting somebody every time they say something that we don't like. I think we need to analyze the thing, think over it, and think about what we know of the person before we jump to making, you know, rash decisions or judgment. I think Ice Cube told him right, but that part about we own it, no, we don't own that word. That ain't our word. We didn't create that. We did not create that. It's just like the word coon. Black people quick to call somebody coon, and they might be a coon, but coon is another word that white people have used to put down all black people. White people call all black people coon, not just certain black people. So why do we call each other coon? Can't we think of a better word? I mean, not a better word, but can't we think of another word to call somebody? Uncle Tom even, you know, Chicken George. But coon, because that's their word. That's the word that they use to call all black people. So anyway, moving right along. I done talked about that enough. I didn't intend to stay on that long. But yeah, that's my feelings on Bill Maher and Ice Cube. Okay, I hope I didn't confuse anybody when I said what I said. Next thing I was going to bring up, y'all, I got my notes here, so y'all have to bear with me because I have to go to them. I did not try to commit anything to my memory where these little blogs and whatnot has come from. Let's see. Mary J. Blige's house is still up for sale. I think it went up for sale either late last year or in January. And when she first put this gigantic, ginormous, beautiful house that's got like 8 bedrooms and 10 bathrooms in it, she put it on the market for like $13 million. Well, since then, she has had to drop the price, and she's dropped the price down to $8.88 million. Woo! Child, is finally in my price range. I can go down there and put my bid on it. A girl can dream, can't she? But anyway, $8.88 million, and it's just like I suspected. It's in New Jersey. Beautiful home. Beautiful home. I was like, good Lord, no wonder Kendu didn't want to leave. No wonder Kendu giving her a hard time. He don't want to leave that mansion. But anyway, it's up for sale, and I want to say it's partly furnished too. Okay, so moving right along, the next thing is the original, wait a minute, before I even go there, hold on, y'all. Y'all so patient. Halle Berry told me to tell y'all she is not pregnant, and she done gave us proof on Twitter that she ain't pregnant. She said she tired of y'all bothering her about this baby. You know, I think she lying, but you know, but whatever. You know that picture that came out that surfaced of her last week with that silver dress on, and she was holding that pooch pouch she got. As little as she is, she look like she done swallowed a pumpkin. Well, we all know Halle Berry is 50 or 51 years old, and everybody looked at her because even in her face, she did look pregnant. She, to me, by any standard, she looked like a pregnant woman. She looked like she was about 5 months pregnant, but she says she's not pregnant. She talking about, can't a girl have steak and fries? Now I know steak and fries ain't bloat you like that, but anyway, I just wondered if she was blowing her stomach out, because she has posted another picture where she has on some jeans and she's got on like this sheer shirt. I would show it to you guys if I thought you could see it. I don't believe y'all can see what's going on right here, but well, maybe you can. This is the picture she put on Twitter of her, and she's got a little bit of roundness, but it's obvious that this little bitty heifer is not pregnant. So I don't know if she was messing with folk and blowing her stomach out. You know how some people blow their stomach. I think that might be what Halle was doing. But she says she's not pregnant, y'all. So, and furthermore, first of all, Halle Berry knows she old. And I don't mean that disrespectful. I mean that for having babies at 50, 51 years old, that's old. And she know we don't know who the dad is. She's not married. So it's like she a little shamed. She should be shamed if she... Well, I ain't gonna say that, because she can afford these kids, but to be 50, 51, not married and pregnant, yeah. Anyway, Moving right along. She say she ain't pregnant, so we gonna have to go with that, okay? The last thing I was just gonna tell y'all, just some news. If anybody care, anybody old enough to remember. Dunna 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 Batman. Dunna 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 dunna. All right, the original Batman actor, Mr. Adam West, has died at the ripe old age of 88, honey. Star of the popular and campy 1960s, way before my time, Batman TV show, died Friday night after a short but brave battle with leukemia. So it wasn't old age that killed him, it was leukemia. His family said in a statement he was 88. Well, old age, I'm sure, contributed to. Anyway, in a signature role, West played Bruce Wayne and his alter ego, the crime-fighting costume Batman, a popular comics character who came to life on the ABC TV series The Show with a catchy, some might say aggravating theme song, earned a cult following. Burgess Meredith from Left, well, in this picture, there's a picture of all these people. Burgess Meredith played the Penguin, Cesar Romero was the Joker, and Adam West, of course, was on Batman. The series lasted 3 seasons and enjoyed a long afterlife in syndication. So, there you have it. West later supplied the voice of Mayor Adam West, the oddball leader of Quahog, Rhode Island, as on the animated series Family Guy. Now, I did not know that. I did not know that, the voice of Adam West. Interesting. Interesting. Well, anyway, y'all, there you go. Adam West has died of leukemia at the age of 88. For those that actually watched him, I'm sure that's very sentimental and nostalgic to you, but I did not watch the old Batman. It seemed corny to me, of course. It seemed corny to me, but you know. Anyway, there you have it. And I think that's about all that I wanted to mention. It's been almost 30 minutes and I have talked myself up a storm, you guys. Let me see what else new, because I get news across my feed all day and all night. Now, I got a question, though, or a comment or whatever. LeBron James, you know, his home last week was vandalized a few days before these finals took place or started. And somebody sprayed nigga, I've been saying it through this whole video. Somebody sprayed the word nigga on his gates outside his LA home, where he was not at the time. And he did a press conference about it, and he explained what this racism meant to him. He was justifiably offended, because I was offended for him. And of course, we know little Jason Butterball Whitlock, who I'm not that familiar with until recently, but that little Butterball had the unmitigated gall to say that LeBron James should just let it go and not be worried about it, not be concerned about it, because he's rich. In other words, if you're rich, you ain't got no business being offended or hurt because you're rich. Okay? First of all, Jason Whitlock is wrong. He don't know what he's talking about. Anytime, I don't care how rich you are, if somebody puts a racial slur on your home, you're going to get offended, okay? Especially if you're rich, because 9 times out of 10, when people are rich and have a lot of money, they don't expect people to feel a certain way about them, because you know how folks get when they get money. They get a little high-minded, and then little stuff like that happen that snaps them back into reality. So if anything, LeBron James had been snapped back into reality, and the man was justifiably offended. I just don't understand where Butterball Whitlock was coming from. Yeah, I call him nigga. He's just as round as he want to be. But anyway, I cannot understand why he kept honing in or focusing on how much money LeBron James had. Okay? I mean, he just said, you're rich. What are you worried about this for? And then he had the unmitigated gall, again, to mention how LeBron talked about Emmett Till's mother as if LeBron was actually comparing what happened to him to what happened to Emmett Till, which there's no comparison. And no, LeBron James did not compare what happened to him to what happened to Emmett Till. That is a misconception and a misinterpretation on Butterball Whitlock's part. LeBron James was merely, of course, y'all, I don't have the video in front of me, of course, but if you have seen it, you know that LeBron was merely saying that the same devil that put nigger on his gate is the same one, or the same devil that killed Emmett Till is the same one that put nigger on his gate. He was capable of doing the same thing to him and anybody else. Same demon, same racist demon is what he's saying. He was not comparing what happened. We all know that what happened to Emmett Till was far worse than what happened to LeBron James, but nonetheless, somebody violated his house. It was an inconvenience to him. He had to take time out of his day. It was hurtful. But I said all that to get to this. Do y'all think that whoever did that, because they knew that the finals was coming up, and of course Cavaliers are playing the Golden State Warriors in California, that somebody was literally just trying to upset LeBron to get him off of his game? And if so, maybe it worked them first 3 games. Could that possibly be what happened? That somebody was really just trying to stir him up? Because you know, when people bet on games and they want one team to win, they won't stop at anything to get that win. So do y'all think that maybe that's what happened? I don't know. I just wonder. I'm just one of them kind of think outside the box sometimes, that perhaps they did that on purpose just to get him stirred up so that he wouldn't be able to focus like he didn't really focus on games 1, 2, and 3. They finally won game 4, which we should have expected they were going to do anyway, because this is entertainment and the finals must go on. But anyway, I just want to know what y'all think about that. I could be totally wrong. That might be my country man talking, because I live in the deep south. And maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, y'all, that's all I wanted to talk about for right now anyway, until I get some more news, which is every day. Y'all take care. Thanks for clicking on the link. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Please just do it, because I just want to, if you like it anyway. But yeah, put your commentary down in the section below, and I will see you guys or talk to you later. Bye-bye.